Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for this talk. My name is Stefan, and in today's webinar, we're going to be talking about something incredibly relevant, especially because of the times that we're currently living in. We're going to be talking about virtually guided tours. Now, a lot of you might already make use of our platform. You might already have an account. You've been creating virtual tours and virtual walkthroughs of all kinds of different spaces, and that's extremely immersive. But one of the things that might be missing is the communication that you would like with anyone that is looking at your spaces, the properties or the store, retail stores, or whatever it is that you created a virtual tour from. And that communication is obviously extremely important, that interactivity. And that's what today's talk is about. It's about virtually guided tours. So it'll take about 15 minutes. And as usual, you can ask any questions in the chat on the right side of your screen. You can talk to my colleague, Andrea, directly. She can answer any questions that you might have. If we don't get to your questions, we'll have some time towards the end of the webinar as well. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is just tell you about what touring really is. So touring is an additional feature that is on top of your virtual tour subscription, your virtual tour account that you might already have. So this is something that you can only use if you already have your account with iStaging. You can create one at iStaging.com. But imagine that you've created your tour. And let me sort of set the scene for you. You've created your tour, you've shared your tour on different platforms, and someone is looking at the virtual tour that you've created, and you've engaged them with everything that you've got to show them, and now they have questions. They want to talk to you, which could be a real estate agent or a salesperson, a sales consultant, a store manager. All they need to do now is basically click on a simple button, a simple call button, that then will automatically call the owner of the virtual tour, which would be you. Your phone will ring, and you can then look at the same virtual tour at the same time when you answer the phone, and you'll be able to guide that person through the virtual tour and ask any questions that they might have. And this is a great way to capture high quality leads. You can actually do live annotations. I'll show you a quick video in a minute, so it's a little bit more visual. Obviously, you can switch tours within the call, and you'll have a record of call history and analytics also in your editor. So touring is actually you receive free touring minutes, 500 free touring minutes with your annual plan. If you're on a pay-by-usage plan, you can purchase minutes via the website as well, and I'll show you where to do that. Okay, so the second thing now, I want to just quickly switch my screen to a video that I want to show you guys. So just give me a couple seconds. I believe that you can all hear me okay, so that's good news. All right, you should all see the screen right now with a video. So let me just play that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what you're seeing. So this you're basically seeing two screens right now. On the right, the smartphone, which would be, well, in this case it says the agent's view, but it's basically the owner of the virtual tour, which is you. And on the left, you've got the person, the viewer, that is actually looking at the virtual tour at home or anywhere really. It could also be on a smartphone. And once you're connected, automatically you'll see that the tours are connected and you can guide someone. So if you move on your screen, the screen of the viewer automatically moves. Now you see that you can annotate certain things, and that's in real time. So you can highlight things or indicate the size of something, and that will automatically pop up on the screen of your viewer as well. And there are different ways to actually virtually walk through, with the floor plan or the panoramas at the bottom. So the viewer doesn't actually have to do anything. They can sit back and ask any questions, and you can guide them through the space. Now this is a property, but it goes for any space, and I'll go into some other possibilities in a couple of minutes. What you see right now is that you can easily navigate between tours. So if you have other tours or other things that you would want to see, or that you would want to showcase your potential client or your client. What you don't want is that they then go to you have to share another link. You have to end the call and go back. That's a big hassle. So what we've enabled is basically being able to switch tours within your account. So if you have 5, 10, 15 tours, you can easily switch within the call without hanging up and asking the buyer to call again. So this can be an extremely immersive experience, and especially in times like these right now, this is extremely relevant, and it will become more and more popular. Okay, now I want to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how to use this within the software, where to turn this on or turn this off, and what that actually looks like sort of in real time. I'm not going to do an entire live demo because you've sort of seen how this works right now. Let me go. So give me a second, screen sharing right here. So I'll just, Gustavo, you love it. That's wonderful to hear. So give me a sec, guys. Almost ready. We should almost be there. Yeah, I think that you should all see my screen right now, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'll go to the VR editor. So this is the VR editor that most of you might actually know. You go to iStaging.com, you log in with your account details, your email address, and your password with the login button in the top right corner, and then you end up in the VR editor, which is this. And then you see a list of all of your virtual tours that you've created. Now I'm going to just click on the one right here as an example, and this is the editing section. Now you can decide to turn touring on or off per virtual tour. And where you want to do that is in the first tab, basic information, scroll down to custom options, and then you'll see the guided tour button. Now you can either turn that on, it's already turned on for this particular tour, or turn it off. If you turn it on, the guided tour button will show up in your virtual tour. If you turn it off, it will not show up, which means that people cannot call you. And there could be multiple reasons as to why you might not want to do that for a specific tour. But that's where you do it. So it's basically just a switch of a button. Very, 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 very simple. Once you've done that, always remember to actually add or click on save so that it actually saves your tour. Now let's preview this tour and show you what this means. There you go. This is a virtual tour, as you all know them, and you can see guided tour here in the bottom right corner. So this is where your viewers or your potential buyers can click. They click, and automatically a little pop-up screen will show up, and you will enter your name and your phone number, and that automatically enables us to make a record and a history of your call. So in case that you're, for example, not available, this information will show up in the editor and also in your touring app on your phone, so you can always call them back afterwards. So all I need to do now is click on, I entered the information already, so I click on call. Can you still hear me? Just to make sure, I see that someone says we lost you, no sound. Yeah, okay, very good, great. Then we can continue. Very, very good. Perfect. I hope that you didn't miss too much of what I was saying. Okay, well, I don't know exactly where. All right, a minute or 3 minutes. Well, what I was saying ultimately is where to purchase these minutes. Oh, when I click the call, I see. Okay, I apologize for that, guys. I'm not really sure why that happened. Probably because I switched screens and then I clicked on something and then automatically turns off the audio. But what I was showing after I clicked on call, I actually showed that my phone here was ringing. After I clicked on call, you could see that I was actually the one calling, and you could see which tool I was actually calling from, and then when I answer the call, the tour will automatically open on my smartphone. So I apologize for that, but you haven't missed too much there. And then the last thing I wanted to say was where you can buy touring minutes is you can go to iStaging.com, all right? You find touring in the top left corner and scroll all the way down to the bottom on the website, and you can add touring minutes there for 1,500 minutes for $59 US if you are on a pay-by-usage plan. If you bought an annual plan or you're interested in an annual plan, then you receive 500 free touring minutes as a bonus there. So I think that probably covers maybe the 1, 2, 3 minutes that you might have missed. I apologize for that. Anyway, you should see the presentation again, because I have a couple more things to say. Obviously, I was showcasing earlier, a property. So this would be a perfect example. Real estate would be a perfect example here. People that are browsing homes and properties virtually with the use of virtual tours, iStaging virtual tours, and then being able to click on the guided tour button here in again in the top or the bottom right corner. Click on that button, and then guide that person through the property and answer any questions to see if it's actually a hot lead. I would say. So real estate is one, but that's not the only thing that you could use it for. There are obviously the possibilities are limitless here, but I just talked to you about 3 different ones. Retail is another one. So for example, retail stores, shopping online. If you have tagged all your products within the virtual tour, you've created that experience. Obviously, you can immediately link them to an e-commerce website or a purchase or a buying page. But people might also want to know more and talk to a store owner or a store salesperson, sales consultant. And in that case, this would be a wonderful solution to implement, obviously. And then the last one here, all right, is that I've got is the automotive industry, right? Again, if you've created a virtual tour of a showroom that you've got, or multiple showrooms, the inside, the outside of the cars, usually you start outside, you start walking around. Ultimately, you sit in the car. You've got all of the different tags and the videos and the images to create a really engaging experience. But you want to know more. You want to talk to someone. Usually what you then do is talk to someone in the showroom. Someone that can help you, and that's what touring basically can provide. Create that online, basically connecting the offline and the online experience, and almost creating an experience online that is almost just as good as the experience just in the store. And in times like these, this is even necessary. A lot of people don't even have a choice at the moment, but life goes on. People are still interested. People still want to buy stuff. So in that case, touring is extremely valuable. Okay. Yeah, that is about all that I wanted to say about touring today. So a short introduction showing you how it works, where to turn on touring in the editor, how it works within the tour, and ultimately, some of the industries that you could use it in. And also, again, tourism, property development, all kinds of industries could highly benefit from this solution. Let's look at some questions, if there are any questions. You can ask questions about touring. If you have other questions related to the software in general, I'd be happy to answer those as well. And also, don't forget that we've got a customer service that you can reach out to. And Gerardo Perez, hey, thank you so much for being here today, being with us. The notice and information the customer received can be turned to any language or just English. That's a good question. The information right now, also with touring, for example, it's in English, but I believe that touring actually is also available in Spanish. so that when someone is looking at the virtual tour and they click on the guided tour button, that little page is in Spanish. But I can confirm that with you. Andrea might be able to help me out here, just making sure. I don't know if it's already available, that we're currently working on it. And the software in general is available in 8 languages. So we've got Chinese, traditional simplified Chinese, English, German, French, and there are a couple more. I don't remember all of them, but there are multiple languages available. Yes. Planning. I'm just waiting for Andrea to switch the question if that's possible. If not, then I'll just scroll through. Here we go. All right. Can we have multiple agents assigned for the same tour? Okay, that is something that is possible. So the way that you would do that now is that the different agents would be logged into the same account on their phone. You would have to download the Touring app. Okay, so you download the Touring app, search for iStaging or Touring in the App Store or the Google Play Store. You download it on your phone and you log in with the same account details as your VR Maker subscription, your normal account. And if you want multiple agents, then they can all log into the same account. But what would happen when someone calls is that whoever picks up the phone first is the one that can talk to the client. So at the moment, maybe that's not the most optimal solution. So we would recommend that you would have different accounts in that case. I think we believe that works the best at the moment. So I hope that answers your question. But there is a bit of a workaround if you want to use one account, but it's not the most optimal user experience. So that's why we would say get several separate accounts. Todd, you don't have an account yet. I have some general questions about iStaging. You can speak with our customer service, with me, with some of my colleagues. You can just reach out to us. If you go to our customer service chat, our team will be happy to help you. If you have a couple of questions now, I'll be happy to answer them also. It's up to you. So there are different possibilities here. Daniel, is there a way to connect the separate live tours in the group folder through hotspots so the tours flow together from one room to the next? Okay, so this for the rest out there, this is not a touring related question. This is more relating to groups. Yes, Daniel, this is possible, and we can contact you. We'll contact you after the webinar, okay? Or at least within the next 24 hours. We'll reach out to you and we'll let you know how that works, because we do have that particular feature not that long ago that we launched that or added that. So I'll get back to you on that. Jose, I want to know if I can have more than one agent to a tour guide of a property. I think that's somewhat the same question as the question that Gerardo asked just a couple minutes ago. So I think I answered that question. Or if I'm misunderstanding the question, please let me know. Helmut, do you support 360 cameras? The Ricoh Theta or the GoPro? Absolutely. We support any 360 camera that you could possibly think of. Okay, as long as it creates panoramas with a ratio of 2:1. You can upload them directly to our VR editor and build your tour. So you don't necessarily need to use our smartphone capture solution. I don't know if you're familiar with it. We have a smartphone capture solution, which is really, really easy to use. Actually provides a fantastic quality. And in many cases, if you, for example, have some of the newer phones, even iPhones, can create just as good or sometimes even a better quality than some 360 cameras out there. But yes, the Ricoh Theta, the GoPro, and the Ricoh Theta is actually integrated with our VR Maker app directly, where you can easily upload them to the editor, but you can also go to the editor directly and then upload them from your desktop or your laptop. So yes, absolutely. After the free 500 minutes, what is the cost per touring minute for annual members? John, okay, so I don't know if you missed that. Maybe that was during the 3 minutes or 1 minute where we lost the sound. But it will cost $59 US for 1,500 minutes. So you can purchase those minutes on the website. iStaging.com, look for touring in the menu, scroll down to the bottom, and that's where you can find the button to add touring minutes to your account. Okay, what else do we have? Amrik, awesome questions, guys. I'm happy that you're all still here. What happens if there are two customers asking for guided tour at the same time? Okay, that means that, well, the one that called first will get through to the agent, and with the other person, it will say that the agents or the salespeople are busy at the moment. So it'll suggest either to call back at a later time, and also the details of that particular person will be available in the editor and in the touring app on your phone, meaning that you can always call back. All right, so the details are recorded. It's basically the same as when you're calling someone and they're not answering because they're already calling somebody else or in the middle of a conversation. The same thing happens with touring. Edgard, can we use the video on any web page? I mean, like a web for my clients. When you talk about video, I'm assuming you mean the virtual tour, right? The virtual tour experience. Yes, you can put it on any web page. It's the end result is a simple URL link, so you can easily share that with anyone. All right, messenger app, social media, anywhere. Very simple. And if you want to embed it into a web page or your website, for example, also very much possible. And we can share how that's done, but it's basically just embedding, similar to how you would embed anything on your website. So yes, very, very simple to do. Daniel, would I be able to download my virtual tours onto my computer, or do they have to stay in iStaging? They are hosted at on our server, or at least with iStaging. So you will not be able to download the whole tour and have it on your computer. What we can do, if you want, is to give you the raw panoramas. But in case that you shot them with a 360 camera, you already have them probably. But yes, it would have to stay at iStaging, if that makes sense. Can agent log in from laptop instead of a mobile device? Yes, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, you can definitely log in. You can log in from any device. So from your smartphone, from a tablet, from a desktop, from a laptop, from any device, it would work. Yes. What else do we have? I see a couple more questions. Edgar, also the rotator. Do you recommend any stabilization for the smartphone? Stabilization, I mean, obviously you would have, but we recommend always is that you need basically three things besides your smartphone, right? So you have the smartphone, if you have the rotator kit, you'll receive a lens and a small rotator, okay? And then a tripod, and any tripod would work, all right? Because it only has to hold your phone, so it doesn't have to be a very fancy one. And if you place your phone, usually what we would recommend is take off your phone case, depending on how thick that is. But generally, just screw the phone on the rotator, and don't, obviously you want the lens to be aligned with the center of the rotator, but don't go too far to the left or to the right, because we don't want the phone to fall off. I guess that's what your question is about. So make sure that it is sort of stable. Don't, you have to screw it super tight, but that should be good enough. So if you have any issues with that, please reach out to us after the webinar, and then we can see how we can help you. Maybe we can give you some additional tips. All right. Thank you for that question. Anything else? Amrik, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Is there a possibility of getting video call option also, or currently it is only a voice call for a guided tour? Right now, it is only a voice call. We are working on enabling video calls as well. Cannot tell you exactly when that's going to be available, but it is coming. So please stay tuned for that. Okay, I think that's sort of all the questions for now. If there's nothing else, then all right, yeah, you guys are very welcome for all the answers. I hope they were helpful. I want to, if there's no more questions right now, don't you worry. If you do have, if you still do have questions, you can always contact us after the webinar, and we'll get in touch with you right after. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, definitely. We will contact you. We have your information. We have your email when you register for the webinar, so we can contact you afterwards and answer any questions to help you out. Oh, all right. Yeah. No worries. Thank you. I think it's always nicer to call people by their first name. Anyway, I want to thank you all very much today for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you are already with us, if you're already using the platform, that's fantastic. And I hope that you're going to try out touring. And I would recommend, if you have quite a few tours, to upgrade to an annual plan, which is financially much more attractive. So pay by usage is absolutely fine, but annual plan, and you get 500 free touring minutes to just try it out, see if how it works, and to get familiar with it. But hopefully after today you're not afraid, because it's quite simple really to use. So thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and we hope to see you at the next webinar. And one of the next ones is going to be a very big announcement of a new solution that we are providing, or will provide, with our CEO. So an exclusive with our CEO that is going to talk about that. So stay tuned for that, and I honestly hope that you guys are going to join there as well. Okay. Thanks so much. Have a great week, and talk to you guys soon. All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.